Hey YouTube, I'm back after another long hiatus. Hmm. Just been kind of busy this summer. I'm here today to review um, 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. Um, I have purchased a new pipe and some new tobacco in the past week, so I'll review those a little later. But today is going to be my book review. Just a moment. So, um, how to rate this book? Where to begin? The book is broken up actually into three separate books itself. This is actually just one large volume containing the 1Q84 trilogy. It starts off really strong, in my opinion. It creates a very interesting premise. It's If I had to break it into three parts, I'd say it's one part sci-fi, one part magic realism, one part romance. It's the story about really focuses on two people, a woman named Almame and a man named Tengo. Now, the two actually are not in contact with each other at the beginning of the book. I'm not going to spoil anything. Um, So I'm not going to tell you anything that happens by the end. Uh, Good things about the book. As I said, it starts off strong. It's got a really interesting premise. These two people find themselves in this strange alternate dimension kind of universe. Um, uh, where there are these creatures, not creatures, these beings called the Little People. Tango meets this girl named Fukaeri, who uh, who writes this really compelling novel. Who He helps write this really compelling novel that is about the little people, and he doesn't quite realize that it's all based on facts. So he just thinks it's a sort of sci-fi book he himself is helping to write. Really strong beginning, interesting premise, um, very well written. All that being said, I was really disappointed by the end. It There's very little closure between a lot of the characters and some of the plot that was set up at the beginning. Um, it feels like it was rushed, and that Haruki Murakami really did want to say more, but he was trying so hard to just wrap everything up, if that makes sense. Um, and I really just did not like the way he wrote off certain characters. Very little explanation, very little um, reason. They're just one minute they're there, the next minute they're gone, which can happen, but uh, he spent so much time setting up some of these characters that it felt like kind of a cheat. I mean, they really were central to uh, the plot of the story, and then they're just gone. So I was kind of disappointed with that. Um, I would if I had to give this book a rating out of 5, maybe 2.5. 2.5. The thing that saves it is I really do love Haruki Murakami's style. Um, uh, his descriptions of things, his use of simile and metaphor are really beautiful. Um, and I am reading a book that has been translated from a separate language. So you always kind of have to take, usually you have to take a lot of the things that are written in a book like that with sort of a grain of salt, because some of it might be more the translators. But honestly, I love the writing. Uh, I don't. I'm 99% sure that a lot of Haruki Murakami's writing does make it through the translation process. So all in all, I wasn't too happy with this book. As I said, 2.5, maybe 3, maybe. It'd be kind of a generous 3. I did mark a lot of my favorite quotes. There were a lot of really good quotes. Another thing I didn't like about this book, it seems like everyone is an expert on classical music, and there are references to songs and composers that I don't know. I personally have never heard of. Of course, I don't listen to a whole lot of classical music, but you know, everyone knew something about classical music, and it was almost kind of unbelievable. I don't know that many people um, uh, who listen to so much classical music, so I could probably name one person who could get all the classical music references in this book. It took me a long time to read this book. It is a long book, so what I normally do is I broke it up. I would read one part of the book. Sorry, uh, I would read book 1, and then I'd read another book, then I'd read book 2, and then I'd read another book. The 2 books I read in between were Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. I picked this up for like $1. This was also a really good read, really fast. If you can get past the dialect, it really is a great story. I would recommend it. 3.5 to 4 stars, or points, whatever. Stephen King's On Writing. I like to write. I'm hoping to maybe get something published later this year, if I can. If not, not the end of the world. This was really helpful to me. A lot of really interesting stories about his life and how he has become the icon. The icon that he has for the literary world. So I like Stephen King. In fact, I'm actually going away at the end of this next week. I'm going to be doing some traveling until August, beginning of August. So I'm taking some books with me. 3 books I'm taking: The Shining. Never read it. Need to. Yukio Mishima's The Temple of the Golden Pavilion. This is a classic Japanese text about a man who tries to burn down a temple in Japan. I have no idea why he'd want to burn down this temple. I've been there myself, and it is one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. If not the most, then definitely top. 3. Yeah, that high. Apparently, though, it's really well written from what I've heard. And then the third book I'm taking with me, I'm hoping to power through all of these by the end of my vacation. Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. I've heard this is a beautiful book filled with magic realism, and I hope I'm not disappointed. So, of course, you always hope for the best whenever you pick up a book. I'm having trouble keeping my pipe lit today. I'm focusing more on the books than my pipe. Yeah. Within the next few days, I'm going to try and do a pipe / tobacco video. I've been smoking this Reserve 1928 blend, and I got a new pipe, and I'll reveal that a little later. Anyway, it's an 11-minute video, so I think that's a good point to end on. I'll see you later, YouTube.